Hi, welcome to another episode of Unique Moments where I talk about things from a unique perspective. Okay, so I am gonna do I guess you could say it's kind of like a series. So originally the next episode was supposed to be on astrology, but for whatever reason, I literally recorded that episode 3 times and each time I lost the episode. And so I was like, maybe for whatever reason, astrology is not the move. So, this episode I'm going to be talking about, the start of talking about the universal laws. And so I've really been into studying spirituality, metaphysics, and things of that nature lately, really getting into it. And the thing that I've been studying lately are these 12 universal laws. So everybody's super familiar with the law of attraction, right? So that's like one of the 12, but there's so many others. And these laws work whether you're aware of it or not, whether you're paying attention to it or not, whether you're consciously manifesting with this energy or not. They work because they're universal. So I just think it's really cool. Just some brief episodes to kind of explain it because one, it helps me just kind of understand it better. And then I just think they're really cool, especially if you don't really know about them. Because, like I said, we're all kind of aware of the law of attraction and how we all use that to manifest. But all of the laws work together and they don't go in order, but they kind of build upon each other. So, yeah, today I'm going to be talking about the law of divine oneness. But before, I'm going to pull the card. And I have my animal deck today. Oh, okay. So many people out. I'm gonna shuffle them again. Okay, so we have the polar bear, which is the mystic. How funny. How funny that we're talking about spiritual things and we get the mystic. Know that challenges make you stronger. Have faith when you face adversity. Take time to rest, dream, and renew your strength. Embrace your psychic abilities. You carry the shaman within. Ooh, I kind of feel that. I kind of feel that on the rest and renew your strength because I feel like for me specifically, I don't know, I've just been very tired lately. And I've been working, I've been not pushing myself, but I've been doing some things. And just finding myself needing to rest more, wanting to rest more, and just being more um kind of idle and being more stationary, but not in a lazy way, just in like a I'm gathering myself to continue to go forward kind of a thing. So that's very fitting. Yeah, that's interesting. The mystic. So, okay, so for the law. So the law of divine oneness basically talks about how we are all one. So everybody in the world, basically, like we are all one body, whether you believe in God, source, spirit, whatever you want to call it, the creator, whoever created, orchestrated this thing that we're all doing, this life that we're all living, we're all a part of it in a bunch of different bodies in this in different forms and different genders and different races and different sexes, but we're all a part of the same pie, if you will. And that's really important when you're considering things like karma, when you're considering things like empathy, when you're considering things like just how you treat people, which goes back to the basic laws that we learned growing up. Treat people how you wanted to be treated, the golden rule. And that's so important when you think about the law of divine oneness, because in a sense, that person is you. Like when you really get down to the metaphysics of it, it's like if we're all a part of the same one, a part of the same source, that means I am you and you are me. And essentially, how I treat you, one, how I treat you is how I expect you to treat me, but in turn, how I treat you basically is how I'm treating myself. Like they say, you have to show people how to treat you, or else they're going to treat you however they want to treat you. And that's so important because one, I think if we were all treating each other truly, truly, truly treating each other how we wanted to be treated, then there would be a lot more kindness in the world and there would be a lot less hate. Because it's hard for me to believe that people just wake up and choose violence, you know? Like people are just like, I want to see how many lives I can ruin today. Like I want to see how many people I can piss off today. I feel like people don't actually do that. Like there's something. And and 9 times out of 10 they were probably treated unfairly, unwell by someone, and in turn, because we're all one, them being treated unfairly triggers something in them to treat somebody else unfairly, because it's like, okay, well, if you're going to do it to me, now that energy's in me and I'm going to do it back to somebody and I don't even care. And not knowing, that's when that karma comes, not knowing that that is negatively affecting you. And I think we don't think about that in the moment, even if it's just like a little, if it's just like a little bitty thing like gossip, which is not a little bitty thing. But if you're really tapped in, like like the card said, psychically, if you're really tapped into your psychic abilities, like you can hear people talking about you. Like you can, and not to be too woo woo, like crazy spiritual, whatever, but like you can hear it and it doesn't feel good and it feels gross and it feels disgusting. And if you are really tapped into like your energy, when you talk about people, it feels gross, it feels disgusting, unless you're just like completely oblivious and unaware to like how talking about people. But even that displays the law. Like I know if I'm even listening to gossip about people, this is not a holier than thou, I never gossip or talk about people, because things happen, lives happen. Like you might get caught up in a situation where maybe I didn't start the conversation, but I'm there to listen to the conversation, and you know what I mean. So sometimes you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, and sometimes you're in the right place at the right time. But regardless, I just notice, like, even if I'm not specifically telling someone, hey, stop talking about this person, I notice I just feel gross. Like, it's like this negative energy within me. Like, I don't want to be talking about people, because then like subconsciously that gives it, like opens up something for someone to talk about you now. And you can't say that you didn't deserve it, because it's like that's your karma, and that's how it all works, because we're all connected. And I just think that law is so fundamental to all the other laws that we're going to go through. But that's just really like the basis of it, is like we're all one. What happens to me happens to you. And that's why whenever we log on to social media, everybody, like, how can we all relate to the same reels? How can we all relate to the same posts? Because we're all living literally the same life in different bodies and different timelines and different experiences. So even across social media is very apparent, because we all relate to the same things. And if you don't relate to, if you don't relate to one thing, you relate to another thing. And it's like it's getting shares and it's getting likes and it's getting noticed, because it's being brought to our awareness and our attention, because it's resonating. It's resonating with all of us and we all relate. And it's because we're all connected. It's because we're all connected. And it's really, really cool when you actually think about it. And that's also kind of explains how you can just vibe. Like, when you vibe with people, like maybe you don't have to say too much. Maybe you just met somebody for the first time and y'all haven't really like talked too deeply. Like it's still very surface, but like you just feel connected to them. You just feel like you've known them previously, or like you just feel like y'all share a part of the same story. And it's because you do. Like in a sense, like if you were bullied growing up, chances are someone else was bullied growing up in that same exact way. Or even it goes the opposite way, positively. Like when you experience praise and when you experience joy and accomplishments and success and you want to share it with people, like that rubs off on them. And then it's like, oh, hey, like when I'm in that same position now, I want to share it with you because you shared it with me. And it's like we're all sharing with each other. We're all growing with each other. And it's really beautiful when you think about it. If you stay on the positive side of things, like with most things in life, when you stay on the positive side of things, it's really beautiful, because then the same concept with giving, the thing that I give to you, whether it's money, whether it's a compliment, whether it's a smile, whether it's the shirt off my back, whether it's sharing my food, that thing is going to come back to me. And it may not come back to me in the same way, shape, or form, but it's going to come back to me, because essentially I'm not giving to you, I'm giving to myself. That's why, and I know some people feel weird about giving to homeless people, or you don't know what they're going to do with money or whatever, whatever. But that's why I don't think too hard about that, because when you really get down to it, you are that homeless person. You know, maybe not in this life, maybe not right now, but like the meaning of empathy, put yourself in their shoes. If you were them, would you want someone to give to you, or would you want someone to withhold from you, even though they had it to give? And it's like, if you give to that person, you're giving to yourself and it's going to come back to you. It's going to come back to you because you gave it to yourself. And so I've actually experienced this law play out in my life quite a lot, actually. Quite a lot. And I think naturally being an empath and feeling other people's feelings and understanding what other people go through, it's like immediately if I do a negative action to someone, I feel it in my gut because I'm like, I just did that to myself. And it may not manifest until a day from now, a week from now, but like then something bad happens to me and I'm like, oh, this was that thing. And granted, everything is not explainable like that. Some things are very much just random and life happens and we don't control any of it. But some things you do control, and good karma is also a thing. So it's like the next time you're thinking about doing a good deed or good act, and don't do it so it can be returned to you, but just know that when you do it, it will be returned to you because essentially you just gave it to yourself. Paying somebody a compliment, you paid yourself a compliment. Buying somebody lunch, you bought yourself lunch. Just little things like that. So that's just nice to be mindful of. The next time you're thinking about doing something shady, the next time you're thinking about doing a good deed, the next time you're thinking about gossiping, talking about somebody, just remember, just think about it as it's you. Like I'm literally doing this to myself right now. Would I want this type of treatment? Would I want someone to do this to me? Would I want someone to say this to me? Because essentially that's all you're doing. And I think the more tapped in you are, the more quickly you feel it happening. And then the less tapped in you are, I feel like there's more of a delay. So you might not think that your actions have a repercussion, but it does. You just wait, it does. It does. So that's what I got today for this law. And then we will continue with the next 11 until next time.